that have brought me this far in my story, you'll pause to reflect on your own. This is an invitation for us to bring our thoughts, questions, and desires to the table to share together. There are 365 entries in this book, 52 of which are recipes. Most of the entries are short devotionals about our relationship with God relative to themes like womanhood, motherhood, marriage, friendship, personal growth, and of course, food. Each week there are 6 days of devotionals, and on the 7th we'll pause for a recipe, a soup, a batch of muffins, or maybe even some crazy delicious ice cream sandwiches. That recipe day is like a Sabbath rest in the midst of a hectic schedule. And my hope is that you'll use it as an opportunity to connect with others in your own kitchen and participate in some much-needed rest. Many of the recipes you'll find in these pages are connected to some of my most beloved memories. They are dishes I've shared with women who have fed me in ways far deeper than bread alone ever could. Most of us stand on the shoulders of the people who came before us, and that's certainly true for me. These pages are a thank you to them, the ones who nurtured and nudged and gave so much of themselves for my benefit. When you read the recipes and words that follow, I hope you'll bring yourself along too, interjecting your own experiences to settle in next to mine. We all have a seat at God's table, and I think it delights Him to no end when we pull up a chair to share in community around it. He's our daily bread, and I can assure you there's more than enough to go around. So let's dig in. January. Day 1. Fresh starts. For many of us, the new year is an opportunity for change. On January 1st, we survey the pages of our lives like a fresh spiral-bound notebook that is ours to fill, eagerly penciling in changes to be made and vows to do better. For most of my own life, I've used the new year as my opportunity to rewrite some of last year's book, too, editing pages and scribbling out plot lines that I didn't want included in future volumes. Although many of us love the idea of reinventing ourselves in pursuit of a better life, we need to remember that God doesn't wait until January 1st to do a new thing. In Christ, there is always hope, possibility, and promise awaiting everyone who welcomes Him as the author of their life. Jesus wants to write a triumphant tale for your days on earth, one filled with adventure and growth and joy and potential. Instead of simply filling our journals or calendars with plans and resolutions of our own, we can press into the dreams, blessings, and experiences that He has for us too. As you start a fresh new year, are there areas of your heart you need to surrender to Him today? Maybe parts of your own plan that need to be aligned with His. Rather than settling for an ordinary year, you have the opportunity to lean into the unimaginable story He is writing. January 1st is as good a time as any to begin walking in new life with Him. So if you haven't already, start today. Read Isaiah chapter 43, verses 18 through 19. Day 2. Good luck. The first January that my husband Brett and I were married, my father-in-law brought us a traditional Southern meal to celebrate the new year. I was still new to my husband's hometown of Selma, Alabama, having lived most of my life in Orlando, Florida, and the elements of that meal were a first-time experience for me. There were slow-cooked black-eyed peas, wedges of skillet cornbread, and peppery collard greens that were braised with smoked pork for both flavor and good luck. As we shared the meal, I learned that those foods are traditional on January 1st, as Southerners everywhere fill their cast-iron skillets with foods that are said to bring prosperity and good fortune. Although we still often enjoy beans and greens on New Year's Day for fun, I remain comforted knowing that God isn't the type to leave anything to a matter of luck. As believers, we don't have to roll the dice.